What's up everybody, Josh here with Terradrift, and if there's one thing we do a lot of, it's road tripping. Whether we're on the road testing a new piece of gear, checking out a sweet destination, or just heading off to chill in the outdoors, it seems like we're always on the move. And while each trip is a little bit different, we're almost always working, which means we almost always have laptops, cameras, headlamps, a drone, any number of things that will need charging at some point during our trip. And while we could charge a lot of our gear in the car itself, it's not always practical. For instance, if we're working overtime at our campsite, but we need to give our laptop a charge, the last thing we want to do is run a 20-foot extension cord from an inverter and leave the car running. Of course, you could use a small generator, but that seems a bit overkill for a laptop and a bunch of small electronics or a string of camp lights. Plus, generators use gasoline and tend to be obnoxiously loud when running. But that's where the Zero Yeti 500X comes in. A compact, portable power station with ports to power every last device, from camera batteries to battery-powered camping lanterns. But before we get into it, let me tell you about our sponsor, Rackle, another stupendously sustainably minded company. See, Rackle is on a mission to produce the most comfortable, sustainable, lightweight, and biodegradable shoes so you can stylishly and comfortably reduce your footprint. In a landfill, Rackle shoes will begin to break down and biodegrade 30 to 50 times faster than typical shoes. That's a big deal. There's a custom knit, durable hemp upper, an organic cotton lining, plus hemp and recycled PET laces. Plus, they're extremely lightweight, very comfortable, and look good with pretty much anything, which pretty much makes them the perfect travel and road trip shoe. They immediately became our favorite casual shoe, so feel good about buying a new pair of shoes and check them out on rackleshoes.com. We'll put a link in the description below. But back to the Zero Yeti 500, which charges just about everything at any time. Small, big, power hungry, you name it. The 500 watt hour lithium ion battery gives you up to 8 charges on a laptop, up to 10 hours of use with a portable fridge, and even TVs. Not that we bring along a TV when we road trip, but there are plenty of ports so you can plug in lots of electronics at once. There's a 300 watt, 120 volt AC inverter, which means it can handle power-hungry devices like my massive gaming laptop, which I use to edit a lot of our videos. Then next to those, you have 4 USB ports, 2 of which are quick charge ports, one at 60 watts for charging things like a small laptop, and an 18 watt, which is perfect for small electronics like your cell phone. The 60 watt port is also a power input, giving you another way to charge the 500X. The other 2 are just your standard USB ports, which we use to charge camera batteries, phones, camp lanterns, etc. Next, you have a 6mm 12 volt port, which among other things can be used with a few of Zero's lighting options, and a 12 volt car port, which is perfect for things like portable mini fridges so you can keep things cold without leaving your car on. Any of the port groups can be activated by hitting the little button just above them. That way they're not always on. Finally, right in the middle you have your LCD display, which lets you know how much power is going in and out and what percentage of the battery is left. And if you want to save some juice, you can turn off the backlight. So how do you charge this thing? Well, you have a lot of options. Besides that USB-C port I mentioned earlier, there's a barrel connector on the front and back, which you'll use with either the car charger, an AC charger, or compatible solar panels like the Nomad 50. Charge times vary, of course, depending on which charging method you use. The included 60 watt power supply will fully charge the battery in about 10 hours, but can be cut in half with the optional 120 watt charger. If you'd like to take a more sustainable approach to charging, or maybe you're using it during your stay at a campground, the Nomad 50 solar panels will charge the battery in as little as 12 hours, though this is kind of a best case scenario with the solar panels staying lined up with the sun from sunrise to sunset. Realistically, you're looking at around 24 hours or more of sunlight to to go from fully depleted to fully charged. The Nomad 50 folds completely flat for easy storage, has a 6-foot charging cable, and even sports a USB port that we like to use for charging our phones when we're just hanging out at the campsite. So them's the deets, but what did we think of the Yeti and Nomad panels overall? Well, for portability, we found the 500X pretty easy to carry around with its nice wide handle and the rubber grip. At 12.5 pounds, I'm not saying I'd want to carry it around all day, but it's neither too big nor too bulky, and anybody should be able to easily transport it from car to campsite. When it comes to charging times, it seems to be pretty much as described by the manufacturer, and the quality of the build seems extremely solid, way nicer than the portable battery we picked up at Walmart several years back. It's just a well-built piece of gear that works exactly how it should. When we're working on the road, we'll often use all of the ports at once to charge our gear, and this thing doesn't even break a sweat. So who is the Yeti 500X for? This thing is a must-have for road trippers, whether you're in a car or RV, anyone who needs some extra juice at the work site, or to keep in the closet as an emergency backup, like during the snowpocalypse here in Texas this winter, or Snowmageddon, or Snowvid, whichever you prefer. So what do you think? Time to get a Yeti for yourself? Well, we'll drop a link in the description to the Yeti 500X and the Nomad 50 panels, and anytime you use our links to make a purchase, you help support the channel. As always, if you enjoyed this video or found it useful in any way, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And be sure to visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Terradrift on all of them. And visit us on our website, terradrift.com, for even more gear reviews, outdoor destinations, sustainability spotlights, and more. As always, thanks for watching. Get yourself some sustainable portable power and wander on. Ooh, do you know what? I could probably bring like the PlayStation and a 40-inch TV to the campsite, kick back, play some games, you know, or Xbox. Xbox or PlayStation? I mean, or should I just go PC? You know, PC games, classic, you know. Might suck more juice though, I'm not sure. I should check that out. I should investigate. I'm gonna go do that. Excuse me.